Hello, how are you? I am Erica Dahl, and this is...
I'm Greg Hammer.
And we are with McDonald Construction Partners, and we are going to be talking all about Ramblers. Okay, so I have Greg here, who is our new construction consultant and has been in the business for how long, Greg?
Oh, it's been about 20 years now.
Okay, so he is the expert here on our team. So we are standing in a Rambler right now, and you're going to learn all about the tips, the tricks, and a really deep dive in why Ramblers are so popular. So a little Q&A. So Greg, let's talk about Ramblers. What makes a Rambler floor plan?
Well, it's kind of funny because in Minnesota, we know what a Rambler is, but if you go into other markets, they'll be like, well, what the heck is that? So Ramblers are going to have your primary suite on the main floor. Typically, you can live all on one floor, even though some have basements, some don't have basements, but they're really geared towards the snowbird or the move down buyer, what I like to call them the right size buyer.
Ooh, what do you mean by right size? So I'm hearing you have everything on the main level, so that's very attractive to a lot of people, right? So when you say the right size, I love that. What does that mean?
Well, so many times people are like, well, we're moving from the big 2-story. We're moving from the big house. However, when they end up looking at a lot of the Rambler floor plans, they still want to have space to entertain.
Yes.
They still want to have holidays. And yeah, you're probably going to remove a bedroom or two, but your living space is going to be very similar to what they're accustomed to.
So when you are going to a Rambler style, you're telling me that you don't have to eliminate all the fun and party because, hello, we are in a large kitchen, so you can still have everything here all accessible. So you said, tell me a little bit more about Ramblers. What would you want or educate our customers if they were looking to build a Rambler, having a primary and a primary suite? What else? Of course, a kitchen. Would you do a deck? Would you do a patio? I mean, again, we're in Minnesota here, so we love our outdoor living. What would you suggest?
Yeah, and I think every homeowner is going to be a little bit different on what they prioritize. I find it, most of our homeowners that we end up building for, they do want a kind of an outdoor living space, again, for that more entertaining, we only get 3 to 4 months, it seems like, in Minnesota to enjoy it, but we like to enjoy it.
Yes, I love that.
Like on this home that we're in right now, they took advantage of doing a screened-in porch that also has a fireplace. So it's more of a 3.5 season porch with the extend sun space system that we have that keeps a lot of the elements out of the porch.
Yep.
So you can really use that through November and then open it back up maybe in February, March. So that's always a kind of a good solution.
That's a great solution. If people are looking to build a Rambler, so I know what you're thinking out there. So if you are wanting to build a Rambler, how big of a lot do you need for McDonald's? Because we are a custom home built company, right? But what would you say? What would be a good lot size?
Well, it really depends on the floor plan, but we have a lot of flexibility. We recently built a home in Edina, which the home itself was only 38 feet wide.
Wow, 38 feet? Okay.
But then we also have, we had a model in Afton that was a 90-foot wide home. So we definitely have a range, and sometimes you got to go a little deeper, sometimes you go a little bit wider. But I would say the most important thing is take the top elements of the lot that you choose and make sure that you're getting the views that you want. Make sure that you're getting the angles that you want. Sometimes that will change a little bit of the floor plan on the width or the depth.
Oh my gosh, that's great. So we've talked about kind of the details of what encompasses in a Rambler, but why do you think Ramblers versus 2-stories are becoming more popular than ever right now? What do you think?
Well, especially for homeowners looking to build one, if you look in the existing market, it seems like Ramblers have been underbuilt for the last 25, 30 years.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And when you think about the way we lived 25, 30 years ago and how we live now, there's a lot of demand for how we live now. And also, people like newer houses over old houses. But really, in the last decade, the way that homeowners live in their home is so much different. And if you are coming out of that 25, 30-year-old home that maybe you raised your kids with, and now it's time to make a move. If this is going to be your final move, you want to make it right.
Yes, I agree. And like you said, age in place versus, and you get your own space. You know, I think that's a lot of things that if you're in between, do I do a villa? Do I do a condo? Wouldn't you say that you kind of get that same vibe, but it's your own home? I don't know. What do you think?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yes.
And you know, if you've lived in a house for a long time, you know what you don't want now.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get the opportunity to build, you're going to end up making it custom to how you live.
I love that. So now do's and don'ts. When you were thinking to build a Rambler in the floor plan, any expertise on that? What would you say?
Well, you know, a lot of times people are going to need different things depending on how they live.
Yeah.
However, a couple things that I've gotten homeowner feedback after they move in is location of the laundry room. That's a big one.
Laundry room. Yes.
So sometimes you put a laundry room in the corner of the house that you're going to have to walk opposite directions.
Mm-hmm.
People do not like that. A usable mudroom.
Okay, a mudroom, which again, we're in Minnesota,
Mm-hmm.
4 seasons. We track in a lot of mud.
Yeah, and also you're just coming in with your groceries.
Yes.
You're coming in from your garage. You want to have an easy traffic pattern to be coming in and out of. I mean, that's
And probably
kind of a silly thing.
No.
But you do it so frequently.
And ratio probably to your kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, what we just said, when you're looking at groceries, you don't want to go up 2 levels or go down 2 levels. You don't want to go across, you know, even just 20 feet. You know, you just want to get in and out. Is that right? Because again, you're aging in place. I mean, essentially, we build these homes for people who want to live there forever.
Yeah.
Right.
No, totally. And also, I would say, depending on if you're in a walkout, a lookout, or a full basement, make sure that your floor plan is designed for the orientation of the lot.
And do we have people on our staff to help with that?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yes, we do. So when you say lookout and walkout, so in a Rambler, you can have both, or is there options to do that?
Yeah, there would just be options depending on the home site. But I would say different floor plans work better on different lot orientations.
Okay.
A lot of people overlook that.
That's overwhelming. So how do we, if you are a buyer looking for a Rambler, right, you're thinking about this, there's not out there, right? Greg already said, believe me, he's been in the market. There is not a lot of Ramblers out there. So when you are going to build, how that's orientation of the house, what does that even mean? I mean, that's...
Well, you know, and I have a lot of homeowners that really do prefer a full basement where they're walking out from the main floor because they want the ultimate main floor living. Make that lower level more of an optional space. Maybe it's used during holidays, but the frequency is going to be less. But that's when it's super important to integrate the backyard living space with the main floor living space. So maybe, you know, more patio areas with built-in fire pits and built-in grills. And you know, there's some really, really cool opportunities that you can use on a full basement. But when it comes into a lookout lower level or a walkout, how those windows are oriented. So many plans, you add a deck or you add a patio, you cover up all your windows. And you're not letting in the natural light, especially
on your main floor that you're living in.
Yeah.
Can you do a grade? Can you talk a little bit more about that? Like when you have your Rambler on, you don't want a basement, you don't want a loft, it's just on your, is that called a grade?
Yeah, we call it slab on grade. I wish
slab on grade.
Better name because slab kind of sounds
slabby.
Yeah, but that is also a
an
great
option.
Solution.
Okay.
You know, the benefit to being on slab, having everything all on one floor, you won't have the step condition coming in from your garage because you're not bringing your home up to build into a lower level down.
Cool.
A lot of times you're going to have a little bit more flexibility on that plan because you don't have to worry about where a staircase is going to go. So a lot of times you get some really cool open concepts.
That's really cool. So you can still, this is great. I hope you guys are really enjoying this because, so with a Rambler, can you do both open concept and some people really are that traditional, they like to have a separate dining room and a separate living space. Is that something that you can do and customize your Rambler as well?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay.
You know, it just kind of depends on what the must-have spaces are and ways that we can integrate the flow properly and figure out, you know, which
What do you want? Exactly. And that is what we do at McDonald's is you get to meet experts like Greg and you have a full team behind you making those decisions, helping you make those decisions so then you can buy and make your forever home.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hi, good afternoon. Come on in. Thanks for coming out today. This is one of the last opportunities we have to walk through our parade of home entry that we had here at Eden Prairie. Home turned out just amazing. We had some great feedback. It is one of our Rambler layouts. It's based off of our porch floor plan that we did do some customization. So coming on in here, we do have the gourmet kitchen with the panel fridge, freezer, all Fisher and Paykel appliances. One thing that the homeowner did do with the cabinet design is we have a full inset cabinet layout. So you'll see how close and detailed all those cabinets are, and custom glass doors in the kitchen. Amazing large island and all wood floor throughout the main floor. Enormous patio doors allowing a lot of natural light coming in with a 12-foot high ceiling. But one of my favorite rooms that we have in this home is going to be the screened-in porch. This can be used a lot more frequently than a lot of homeowners understand because you do have the fireplace and it does give you a lot of comfort even on a colder day. The screen system allows a lot of natural light to come in but not as much wind because these are vinyl panels with a fixed blower, which also then you don't need the railing system that a lot of people deem aesthetically unpleasing. Coming on into the primary, we have floor-to-ceiling windows with just amazing natural light coming in. And coming into the primary bathroom, a lot of people really enjoyed seeing these floating vanities. And then some really fun tile work that we ended up doing in the primary shower. Take a little bit of a closer look. But it really does look like a wood product. Inset for shampoo bottles and soaps. The vaulted ceiling chandelier and beams. Coming in off of the kitchen, we have a cool little writing desk, and parade feedback was just amazing on this working pantry that we did. Just a lot of great storage space. Have some random appliances in the laundry rooms. This is the 3/4 bath on the main floor. Put some floor-to-ceiling tile with heavy glass and some really fun tile patterns in the floor and in the shower. Coming into the front office, this turned out really cool with the iron ore walls and ceiling and trim. Huge windows, but just a really comfy place to have an office and have some amazing views. All right, well, let's cruise downstairs. This lower level was really cool. Really open lower level. But this was definitely a favorite room when it came to a lot of homeowners during the parade that they enjoyed. We did the full golf simulator. You got a ton of different courses to try to play, and especially with our long winters, makes things a lot easier. Coming down to the lower level, still a really nice area for TV media room. The wet bar coming in. And with the 10-foot ceiling and large windows, you can see this is a lower lookout lower level, but just an amazing amount of natural light coming in on this wooded lot too. Coming down the hallway, exercise room. bedroom downstairs. See? Bath. And then this homeowner ended up adding into third bedroom its own private ensuite. Some really kind of fun tile work. We thought this house turned out really nice, especially for a household that is trying to right size but still have the opportunity to host and entertain. Would love to hear what you guys think, though. If there's any other questions, feel free to reach out to us here at McDonald Construction Partners, and we'll talk soon.